Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about my labor and delivery story. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit details of how the day went, that special day in my life that I'll never forget, that I hold close and dear to my heart.
You're good.
Before I begin, I do want to apologize for the lighting again. It seems as if since I've had the baby, I'm on her time, not my time. So it's whenever I'm able to jump in here and there to get a video in, that's when I can get it done. And that's why I'm doing one tonight. Because as you can see, my makeup is done. Yes, thank you. Thank you. So I was like, I need to get a video out of this. So here I am. So hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. Anyways, so the night before I went into labor, I had no idea that I was going to go into labor because I was 37 weeks, 6 days, and I was like, you know what, I have 2 more weeks left, I have plenty of time to get stuff done. That's just, yeah, I'm always thinking I have plenty of time to get stuff done. And we went to the movies and we were playing around, joking, saying that this would be our last time going to the movies, not knowing it would have been our last time going to the movies for a while. We went to the movies, we watched Lucy, which we enjoyed, but I think it would have been better if it was in 3D, just my personal opinion. And that night, everything was fine, I wasn't feeling any contractions or anything. And that Saturday morning, not Saturday, but that Sunday morning, I woke up because I was laying on, I went to go lay on the couch because the couch seemed to be a lot more comfortable for me to lay on at that point. I would say since I was about 32 weeks, I would lay on the couch most of the time. And I was asking my husband to go to McDonald's for me to get me a breakfast sandwich. I was obsessed with that steak, egg, breakfast bagel from McDonald's. And usually I'm the one that always goes to go get it because I enjoy the drive, you know, some time alone and just the breeze in my hair. I was the one that would always go, but for some particular reason that morning I was asking my husband to go pick it up for me. My husband, being the person that he is, he went upstairs, got dressed, then he came down and he was playing on his phone, and I'm like, when are you gonna get my breakfast sandwich? And he was like, I'm gonna go in a little bit. So, you know, he's taking his precious time, and I'm like, maybe I should go. But I decided, whatever, I'll just let him go. Within 5 minutes of me asking him when is he gonna leave to go get my breakfast sandwich, I felt this warm fluid between my legs, and all I can think to myself is like, wait, I don't feel pressure. Am I peeing on myself? So I call my husband over and I'm like, babe, can you please help me up? So he helps me up from the couch, and I still feel something trickling down my legs, and we lift up my dress, and it's like, oh my gosh, my water broke. Oh my goodness, my water broke. And I'm like, my water broke. Oh my gosh, this is exciting. Wait, my eyebrows isn't done. I didn't get my nails done. This is not the plan. This is not the plan. I have 2 more weeks left. We didn't put the bassinet up together. Wait, that's not part of the plan. But anyways, God had a different plan for us. So he's running around the house trying to get stuff done, trying to make sure everything's together, because thank God I listened to him, and I had already put a hospital bag together near the door, because knowing me, I would have waited last minute, but he kept pouncing on me to get that done. But thank God we had that done. But he's running around trying to get last minute items together, and I'm here like asking, where's my camera, you know, making sure it's set up, because I wanted to take some last minute photos before we went to the hospital. So I'm like, oh, I need to take some last minute photos. So he goes upstairs and he sees me taking photos. He's like, wait, you're taking photos? Oh, I might as well slow it down. If you're not in any rush, why am I in any rush? So finally he calms down, and I'm like, okay, let me just get dressed. I'm not feeling anything at this point. I just know I need to get to the hospital, because I know I can't, there's a certain point that I have to be in the hospital just to prevent infection and all that. I was aware of all that. So I wasn't taking drastically long, but I just needed to take a couple of photos here and there. So oh, this chair's making a lot of noise. Sorry. So we get into the car, and we had towels on the seat, because I was, at this point, I'm just, water's like, just, the fluid is just really, you know, coming out like, whoa, this is like gushing out. So I'm sitting on the towel. We get to the hospital. So we get to triage. They checked me. They're like, okay, I'm fine. I'm about was it 1 or 2 centimeters dilated? Two. I was 2 centimeters dilated. And they're like, since I'm in triage, they said they'll get a bed ready for me. And I was asking, can I eat something, because I was still thinking about that breakfast sandwich. So they're like, we'll get you settled, and you can get something to eat. He can go grab you something to eat. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still get my breakfast sandwich. You know, everything's okay. I'm only 2 centimeters dilated. At this point, I'm still shocked, like, and I'm still in disbelief and a little worried. I just never expected for my water to break. I just thought I would feel contractions. I would start counting the time. It's 3 minutes apart, 5 minutes apart, whatever. It's like, okay, it's time to go to the hospital. Yeah, I had it all planned in my head how I was gonna go, but that's not how it went. So finally, they get us to bed. We go up to our room. We get a room, and when we get to the room, that's when they tell me I cannot eat anything. And I'm like, 10 minutes ago they told me I can still eat. But apparently, because I was in triage, I can eat. But since now that I'm up in the labor and delivery area, I'm no longer allowed to eat. I was not happy about that, not at all, because I still wanted my breakfast sandwich. But within 15 minutes, I was no longer thinking about the breakfast sandwich because the contractions started. I started feeling contractions. Oh my word. And they were gentle, somewhat. They were gentle, but they started increasingly getting worse. And I'm like, oh my God, I really am going into labor. Like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. This is happening. I'm in pain. Oh my gosh. So we got to
3 centimeters. I'm the guilty one. Just make sure you get it. Alright. Smile for the camera. Yeah, a little bit over there.
10:30, and when they checked me, they said I was 4 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, okay, I'm sort of moving along. You know, I'm 4 centimeters dilated. You know, I was 2. You know, about a half an hour. So I'm moving along. I'm like 4 centimeters dilated. No, sorry, not 10:30. I'm on 11:30 because it's about an hour and a half after the time I'd gotten to the hospital. And I'm like, okay, I'm moving along. You know, I'm 4 centimeters dilated. Okay, it's happening. So then I'm feeling these contractions. About an hour later, I would say about 12:30, they checked me again. I was still 4 centimeters dilated. By this point, I'm like starting to get worried. Like, oh my goodness, why am I still 4 centimeters dilated? I'm starting to really feel this pain, like, oh my goodness, what's going on? I hope I don't have to get a C-section. I hope the baby's okay. And I have all these things racing through my mind. And the bed's just starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, so I would get up and not on my own. I'd have my mother-in-law. She helped me walk the hallways, which felt great for me. Oh, Pumpkin! I almost forgot, when we got to the hospital, actually, and we met with the triage nurse, and she asked us for our birth, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to go natural, you know, have a natural birth. So she asked us, had we gone through any classes or anything like that, and we were like, no. And she had this smirk on her face, like, I don't think you're gonna make it, because, you know, you don't know what to expect or anything like that. So I was like, I was still hopeful, but my husband was like, oh no, did you see that smirk on her face? I don't think you're gonna make it. But he didn't really express that out loud to me, because he just wanted to, you know, have my back. But I was just like, oh my goodness, I knew we should have taken those classes. I told you we should have taken those classes. How are you gonna help me out? I was just panicking about that. But anyways, this is around 12:30. I'm still 4 centimeters dilated. The pain. I was still feeling pain. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, can I do this? If I'm still 4 centimeters dilated now, by the time I get to 10, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. I might need some pain meds, but I'm like still thinking to myself, I can do this, I can do this. And I told my husband beforehand to kind of like, I told him what my birth plan was, that I sort of wanted to go natural. So with him knowing that, he would just be in my ear telling me to calm down, whatever not, and remind me that I wanted to do this natural. And then he's like, you know, if you really need it, you know, I won't vouch on it, but I'll just try to help you along the way, because I know you really wanted to try doing this natural. And so he's coaching me in there, and of course he has a camera in my face, and I'm just like, it's painful. And he kept saying, I'm a boss, and I'm like, I'm a boss, you in this camera, just leave me alone. Like, we're going to have a baby, I'm in pain. But that was his way of calming himself down. So I was like, whatever works. I mean, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, every time those contractions came, I was just like, Get away from me now. Yeah, like that. Clenching my teeth. So, this chair's really noisy. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I have to get a new one. So, okay, baby's okay now. Daddy's taking care of her. Okay, so around 1, I would say 1-ish, I don't recall what time exactly, they checked me again and I was still 4 centimeters dilated. By then I started getting discouraged, like, oh my gosh, I'm not moving along, like this is like disheartening, like I'm getting a lot of pain and I'm not progressing. Like I was like, I have to go to the bathroom and I feel like I have to poop, do number 2. But on the other hand, I'm scared. I'm like, I hope I don't push the baby out while trying to, like, I was feeling a lot of pressure. I couldn't tell if it was the baby or if I just really needed to use the bathroom really bad. So I'd sit on the toilet and I'm like, I feel pressure, but I'm scared to push because I don't know if I'm pushing. So I have all these things going on in my head. So I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm just like, oh, wait, I feel pressure. I don't know. And I'm telling my husband, he's holding on. I'm like, babe, I'm really trying to do this. And he's like, if you get the epidural, that's okay. That didn't mean you give up. You gave up. You tried your hardest. Okay, so he's reassuring me that it's okay. And he's like, but, you know, why don't you give me about another half an hour? Try waiting another half an hour. You think you give me another half an hour? I'm like, okay, babe, I'm gonna try another half an hour. But I don't know, I might need this epidural. I just might. He's like, it's okay, but try to give me another half an hour. So he's talking to me. I'm like, okay, baby, okay. So by then, again, it was about close to 1-ish and now we're still 4 centimeters dilated. Now, I'm still feeling a lot more pressure. Now I'm really starting to feel the pressure. This is probably around 3-ish. I'm really starting to feel the pressure and I'm just like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Just get me the epidural. Maybe I just can't do this because I'm still 4 centimeters dilated and I'm feeling this much pain. The pain's getting worse and I'm not gonna make it because they're telling us, oh, it'll probably sometime tonight you'll have the baby and whatever not. And I'm like, I can't do this all day. Just, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, just get me the epidural guy again. Maybe I might need it. Just get him nearby. They're like, yes, Jessica. Oh, poor mother-in-law. I was squeezing the heck out of her hand. She was such a great support, you know, and but for her. And I'm like, she's like breathing. I'm like, I am breathing. But, you know, they were trying to talk me through it and it was just painful. So they're like, okay, we need to check you one last time before you fully decide whether you want to take the epidural so you can see how far along you are. So this is about, I would say, 350, probably about 350. And she checks and she's like, honey, you are ready to deliver. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, you are fully dilated. On one side of one part I'm thinking, thank you Jesus. Now that explains why I was having so much pain. And another end I'm like, oh my God, they told me possibly of tonight I'm about to have a baby, like right now. So they start moving everything out the way and just, you know, just getting the bed in place, popping me up. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm about to have a baby. Oh my God, I'm about to have a baby. And my husband's up, you know, in my ear, recording, of course, and I'm just like, babe, okay, just go ahead and record. So then he's recording and he puts the camera on and just starts coaching. He was awesome coach. I have to give him credit. Even though I gave him a hard time for not taking any classes with me, he was an awesome coach. He was breathing with me. And at some instance he told me that he almost passed out himself because he was breathing also so hard.
Good job, babe.
Quick breath and push.
Push it, baby. Push it.
Good job.
Push it, babe. Push it.
Again, hold it longer.
One more.
You can do it. Big
and
breath.
1, 2. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh! Big breath. Big breath.
Big breath.
And I would say, 10 minutes. I would say about within 10-15 minutes, you know, of pushing, you know, back and forth, you know, my little precious angel came out. Oh my God, it was such a sigh of relief. It's like, oh my goodness, I don't even know how to explain it. You know, I have this little human being, this little human, she's mine and she came out of me. She was born 6 pounds, 12 ounces, you know, just perfect. And when they took her out, I did tell them that as soon as she comes out, I want her to be on my chest because I wanted the skin to skin. But they took her and they put her on my chest, and the first thing I'm thinking, too much TV. I'm like, why isn't she crying? Why isn't she crying? And she's on my, I'm like, why isn't she crying? They're telling me to calm down. It's okay. It's all right. So they take her, and then of course within like seconds, you know, she started, you know, a little sound. I'm like, there goes my honey pumpkin. And of course my husband was gone. He was next to the baby. He was nowhere to be found. I mean, he cut the umbilical. And I'm like, you didn't take any pictures of you cutting the cord or nothing. He was just a goner. He was just near the baby from that point on. There was no sign of him. And I'm like, they still got to stitch me up here, dude. Like, what happened to my support system? But I understand. He was like, he just wanted to be next to his baby girl. And after they got her cleaned up and checked whatever, and that's when he came back to my bedside, and then they brought her to me. And then she was such a good little girl. She latched on, you know, right away. And then she was just my precious little one. It's an amazing feeling. I can't even explain it. It's just such a blessing, and I just thank God every day for her. Thank God for allowing us to be parents, you know, thinking of us and allowing us to become parents, and just giving us this little angel on earth for us to raise. So yep, that was my labor and delivery story. I'm sure I forgot a couple of little parts. So no epidural, no pain meds, no nothing, you know, natural birth, just like I wanted, just like I had prayed. And if it had been any other way, it'd still be a blessing, because you know what, whatever God's plan is God's plan. So we're just happy to have her, you know, a little blessing. All right, well, until next time, have a good one. Bye.